What's going on, boxing fans? It's Julian Williams with The Distance here with another fantasy matchup for today. This one's for Ed Johnston. This one is Julio Cesar Chavez versus Roberto Duran at lightweight. This is actually a really good matchup because this isn't your overall textbook tactical boxing match. This is a pure all-out brawl. This is kind of a battle of contested wills, contested heart, etc. Honestly, if you ask me, you do have similar styles coming against each other, but Roberto Duran was a little more polished as a boxer. See, with Roberto Duran had a little more head movement, and he knew how to utilize his jab. He knew how to kind of get in, kind of come in on the inside. And unlike Julio Cesar Chavez did have quite a bit of skill. He knew how to find his way onto the inside, but he would come in on the inside head first, and Roberto Duran jabbed his way into the inside. So this is a matchup that's pretty much when the fighter who takes the back step is the fighter that loses. So honestly, when you have two fighters who don't have an ounce of quit in them, who's going to take the back step, or will there be a back step? The fighter with the faster hand speed and the better power and the better chin, I believe, wins this fight. But the question is, who had the better hand speed? Who had the better chin? And who had the better, who had the better skill? Those are things to think about in this fight. But overall, this fight would probably be a bloodbath. I think that with this fight, this is just kind of a center of the ring brawl. So Julio Cesar Chavez, inside fighter, knew how to pour it on, and would pour it on most of the time. Would pour it on. Sometimes the second, third round just kind of start the new. And he did a good job of zeroing in. See, with Julio Cesar Chavez, he wasn't the type of fighter that would throw a few shots and kind of look at his work and then come back and start throwing shots. He knew how to consistently apply pressure and throw shots. See, but there was one shot that Julio Cesar Chavez threw when he knew he had you, and that's when he landed the uppercut. When Julio Cesar Chavez landed the uppercut, that's when he would start to open up, because sometimes he would stand there and be on the inside, and he'll throw a couple hooks. But when that uppercut lands, that usually made the guard go down. So when the guard goes down, then you're going to be open to a lot of power shots, and you don't want any power shots from Julio Cesar Chavez. So really, that's how he opened up, was utilizing his uppercut. The right uppercut was one of his main shots that he threw that kind of where he capitalized on his opponents. And Roberto Duran knew how to stay in close. So see, with Roberto Duran actually had some pretty good head movement. If you look in a couple of his fights, he had some pretty decent head movement, and he knew how to get under wide shots. See, when you throw wide at him, he knew how to come from underneath the shots and get his shots in. See, Roberto Duran kind of mixed up his shots. He would go to the body, he'd move up to the head, and he was another fighter who knew how to apply pressure and did a very good job of applying pressure and cutting off the ring. But what if you have two fighters who knew how to cut off the ring and knew how to apply pressure? I see this fight being similar to Vasquez Marquez. I see this fight being very close and very similar to those three fights, and we're going to have a fourth fight in May. This fight is kind of a toss-up. It's a toss-up because you have two guys who don't have an ounce of quit in them. But I do think that in the skill department, Roberto Duran has the advantage, because he like I said, he had some decent head movement, and he knew how to utilize his jab, and he knew how to come from the outside, kind of into the pocket, and get his shots off. And Roberto Duran, not Roberto Duran, but Julio Cesar Chavez kind of come in kind of like a headhunter would kind of have that headhunter type style where he'd come in and he would get his shots off. But in this fight, I just see Roberto Duran winning this fight by unanimous decision. I think that a fight like this would be a toss-up, but I do believe that Roberto Duran had better hand speed. I believe he had better hand speed, and along with his head movement, because Julio Cesar Chavez did throw kind of wide. And I think that Roberto Duran knew how to come from underneath the shots and get his shots in and get the unanimous decision over about 12-15 rounds. I'll make this a 12. I'm going to go with Roberto Duran by a 12-round unanimous decision. I think he'll land a lot of good combinations, and I think that Roberto Duran, who knew how to be effective, but I just see it being a very close bout. I see it being a very close bout, but it's a toss-up. It can go either way. I'm going with Roberto Duran decision. But anyway, that was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.